My Hyundai identifies as a Ferrari.
Mr. Pagan.
Now I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, I'm watching Mr. Reagan. But you're not. I'm his evil twin, Mr. Pagan. And trust me, I'm much more interesting. You may remember me from an episode of Mr. Reagan in which I guest starred. Well, that episode was so popular that they gave me my own channel. Now I'm the star. So for my debut episode, I wanted to take a second to discuss something that's really important to me. Now, I've been meaning to announce this to the world for a while. My Hyundai identifies as a Ferrari. And I know a lot of conservative trolls are going to watch this, and you're going to laugh, and you're going to say, the Hyundai can't be a Ferrari. Because it's a Hyundai. But just because you don't look like a Ferrari, well, that doesn't mean you can't be a Ferrari deep down on the inside. My car has a Ferrari aura, okay? And auras are much more important than what factory you were built in, or how fast you can accelerate from 0 to 60. Everyone knows that horsepower, speed, and acceleration are all just constructs of the racist patriarchy. So I started to talk to my Hyundai recently about transitioning, and after a long talk, we decided to go through with it. And I think the transition has been wildly successful. Okay, look, I know it's not what you would call passing, but that doesn't mean it deserves the bigotry it's endured. People are always staring and pointing and laughing, and I'm just like, okay, we all know that it's not passing, but guys, that doesn't mean it's not a Ferrari. A trans Ferrari is still a real Ferrari. And if you call my car a Hyundai, well, you're just a bigot, and I will be flagging your Twitter posts, and you will get banned, you transphobic son of a bitch. And it's not just my Hyundai that identifies as a Ferrari. Look at this. This snail identifies as a Ferrari. These bags, this mug, these watches, this flip-flop, all of these things clearly identify as a Ferrari, so obviously it's not that strange. I once knew a guy named Steve who identified as a Volvo. It's totally normal, guys. Don't be weird about it, okay? And the bigotry hasn't just been pointing and laughing. It's not just random conservative douchebags on Twitter. The transphobia is systemic. We plan to enter my Ferrari into a number of Ferrari-only races, and so far I've been told that I'm not qualified just because my Ferrari is trans. That is just pure evil. I also tried to join my local chapter of the Ferrari Owners Club, and you know, I told them that my Ferrari was trans, and again, I was told that I couldn't join. Total bigotry. And okay, I'm not proud of this, but I did try to sell my baby. You are not going to believe this. These bigots wanted to pay Hyundai prices for a Ferrari. These Botox injections aren't going to pay for themselves. F***ing Trump supporters. Until we're able to gain acceptance for all Ferraris, trans or cis, well then we still live in a fascist country, I'm sorry. Now at this point, the transition is only aesthetic. We haven't actually cut off the tailpipe or anything like that. That's kind of an expensive procedure, so we're trying to raise money for that. So if you want to donate to our GoFundMe, we'd really appreciate it. Well, that's it for the show today. Real quick though, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, Planned Parenthood. Without you guys, I would not have been an only child, and I would never have gotten the attention I needed from my parents, and I would never have turned out as fabulous as I did. Thank you, Planned Parenthood. Thank you for making sure I never had to share my toys. You rock. What about me? You don't count. All right, well that's it for me. And remember, it's more important to be morally right than to be factually correct. Namaste, fam. You transphobic son of a bitch.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm looking forward to this, man. Come here, man. Hey, man. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.